If you're starting your backend journey in the 2027, your position is unique. You aren't just learning to code. You're learning to build systems in AI powered era. The tutorial hell trap is real. But today we are going to kill that. We are looking at the exact roadmap, the fundamentals, the stack, and the software engineering principles that you need to know to survive and thrive. So let's dive in. Before you write a single line of code, you need to master the basics. This is not negotiable. You need to understand how the internet works, not just frameworks, but the underlying protocols. How does DNS resolve? For example, when what happens when a browser sends a request? Master HTTP verbs and status codes because they are very important. So you need these concepts of web basics. Don't skip the boring stuff. Data structure and algorithm are tools that you need to optimize your system later and learn to live in the terminal. If you aren't comfortable with the terminal and bash and git stuff, you are already behind. This is not a theory. This is how you debug when things go sideways. Now the tools in the 2027, as you can see the screen, we value developer experience and reliability above all else. We start with the PHP Laravel. This is my personal favorite for SaaS, Laravel 13. It's incredibly productive. It's opinionated, type safe, and if you want to ship a functional product in weeks, not months, this is the way. TypeScript and NestJS, this is our next option. We are choosing our weapon, so we are summarizing and checking all stuff and all weapons that we have in the start. So I'm suggesting the best weapon we have to start our journey. If your team is full stack, this is the gold standard. It brings structural discipline to Node.js. It's scalable, modular, and type safety is unparalleled. Python and FastAPI. If you're leaning into AI, data engineering, or machine learning, this is your home. It's asynchronous, fast, and the library ecosystem for AI is untouchable. Mastery of data. Data is the heart of your backend system, so don't just learn how to select all from a table or stuff like that. Let's dive into relational databases. I mentioned PostgreSQL here, and I'm going to talk about that in this slide, but also we have MySQL, which is a good option and it's widely used around the globe by developers. PostgreSQL, this is the industry standard for a reason. Learn schema design, indexing, and how to handle transactions because they are very important and you need to know of this stuff as a backend developer in 2027. The next one is Redis that is needed for today's market if you want to be a perfect backend developer. This is not just for cache. Everybody maybe know Redis for caching and stuff like that, but we can use Redis for rate limiting queues and this kind of behavior. Um, I've talked about cache and caching a little in my previous video that will be mentioned here or maybe here at the top. Uh, Overall, learn Redis for rate limiting job queues and pub, sub, and other stuff like that. Because when you are, for example, working as a backend developer in Laravel ecosystem or other tools, you need to work with Redis uh, in a proper way and use it for fast access to data that you want to use. Vector DBs, this is the new skill for 2027. If you want to build AI applications that are able to remember your data, you need to understand how vector databases work. This is how you implement RAG. This is stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. Beyond just the code, software engineering, here is where the scenario are separated from the juniors. Everybody can write code, but can you write a code and ship a code that doesn't break? This is the main difference, and you should think about that. We have testing here, as you can see on the screen. We want to talk about that. If you aren't writing unit and integration tests, you're just guessing. It's so important for your software, and you should consider testing your application. I repeat again, these four concepts here are so important, so consider reading and searching about them more. Also, we will try to talk more about these concepts here. Also, uh, if you want more videos and scenarios about these concepts, please comment your idea in this video. We try to make more content for you around these software engineering concepts. Hope it's useful for you. Let's talk about Docker and DevOps. You need to understand how to containerize your application because you want to ship that software on the server, and we have lots of issues out there when you want to ship your software and you doesn't use the Docker for, or you didn't Dockerize your application, you can face many issues. So you should know about that. We have also observability. This is huge. In 2027, you don't just rely on logs, as you know, or maybe don't know. You use open telemetry or track performance. We have some tools about these concepts that you should use to track your application, logging and behavior, and maybe some errors, bugs, and stuff like that. So you need to track your application all the time using softwares that are available. You can search for that in the Google and see the results. Also, if you don't know why your API is slow and you want to fix that and stuff like that, learn these pillars to build systems that are truly production ready. The AI Developer Edge. We are finally here. Maybe you heard that AI is going to replace all developers. All developers are going to be workless. We are going to die and stuff like that. But we don't want to talk about this stuff here because they are not completely true. We want to find out how we can integrate with the AI era. Finally, the AI edge is here. The job of the backend developer in this new era is shifting. What's the meaning of shifting? We are no longer just code monkeys. This is so important because we are now AI orchestrators. Mention that your new superpower is the ability to integrate LLMs into your stack safely. You need to understand RAG that we talked about in the previous or maybe two previous slides, and how to protect against prompt injection, and how to monitor AI costs and latency. AI is a multiplayer. It makes good developers better, but it exposes the ones who don't understand how the system works. Mention that. Uh, who doesn't know how the system works. So you should know how the system is working. Maybe you aren't a master of syntax in your language or whatever, but you know the system architecture. You know how this system is working. You know that this is where the AI is not good, and you should cover that part. So master these fundamentals. Choose your stack and stay curious. If you want to see deep dives on any of these topics, please subscribe and comment your idea about the video. I will create the video that you want, and that the topic that most comments belong to that. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.